Hi BoBunny friends, it's Chris with our first ever online blog class. We've had so much fun getting this ready, so we hope that you're excited to be here today and join with us in the fun. Today's class will be using our Snowfall collection. We are going to go ahead and get started, and I'm just going to show you the album for a second first. Alright, so we're going to start with the cover. The first thing I want to tell you is that when you're opening your packaging, make sure with your album and also with your trinkets that you keep your packaging, because we're going to use that in the album. So don't throw away your packaging. So the first thing you want to do is pull out your album, and all you're going to need right now is the very first page and the very last page to begin with. Because what we're going to do is on that last page, we're going to pop out that snowflake that's on there, and that's going to be one of the layers on our cover. It's going to go just like this. And I'm not going to glue everything down until I have it all cut out and ready, and then I'm going to glue it all together. So, with your Still and Frosty cardstock sticker, we're going to use this brown bracket right down here at the bottom. Pull that off, and with your fingernail file or sander, whatever you like to use, just sand all of those edges and get it roughed up a little bit. We like things to be a little shabby. Once you get those roughed up, we're going to place that sticker on top of a piece of your Snowfall cabin paper. Just kind of put it where it's all in brown. You can see right here. We're going to have our title on it, so you just kind of want it to all be brown. Alright, then when I'm cutting that out, I like to cut big first. And then as you cut, just kind of go right under the edge of that sticker so that your brown's not showing. So that you get just right under the edge, so you just have a smooth edge all the way around. Voila, like this. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is put our ribbon around our brown bracket for the title. And we used the sheer ribbon off of our Bella Journey ribbon, but we've had a few phone calls and emails saying that you weren't able to find Bella Journey ribbon. So any 5/8 inch piece of sheer cream ribbon will work, and those are pretty handy around. And what we're going to do is we're just going to put a base stitch down one side of it, and don't even worry about what color of thread you have or anything, because you're not going to see it. We're just going to gather, and it's all going to be hidden under the edge. So don't even worry about it. Just do a big base stitch down one side. And it's about a yard is what you'll need to gather it and work. So you're just going to have a base stitch down your edge like that. And then you all should know how to gather. If you don't, you just take one of the strings at the end and tug on it gently as you pull the ribbon back. And it just starts to gather. And this is where your album's going to pick up personality. Some people like to gather tight, some a little bit looser. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It just adds personality and character to your album. And just remember, when you get your album home, nobody else is going to see anybody else's, so they're just going to think you're fabulous and wonderful. It doesn't need to look exactly like the sample or like your neighbor's. So just be fun with it and do what you like to do. Okay, so once you have it all gathered, what I like to do is, this is my glossy accents, and I like to use it as my adhesive because it's pretty sticky and it dries really fast. Robbie on our design team recently told me about a glue called Fabri-Tac, and she said it even dries faster than this. So that's my next goal, is to get some of that, but I don't have any of that right now. So I'm using glossy accents, and I'm going to put a little bit around the entire edge. And I'm going to do the whole edge, and then I'm going to let it, I like to let it dry for a couple minutes so it's really sticky and gummy. And then it doesn't take so long when I put my ribbon on. So I'm just going to go ahead and goober that up. Okay, so my adhesive is kind of dried a little bit and it's kind of sticky. So now we're just going to take our gathered ribbon and stick it on. And this is where you can see if maybe it's not gathered enough. You could gather it a little more. Got it a little bit too gathered, you could gather it a little less. if any of you know of an adhesive that dries not too fast but not too slow, or you have a tool that you use that makes something easier, please leave us a comment in our comments and let us know, because I personally am always looking for how to make things more efficient, or just try new product, or spend more money, you know, stuff like that. So if you have a trick or a tip, please leave it in our comments. We would love to hear from you. Hear the different tips and tricks that you have. Okay, so after you've got that glued all around, just set that aside and let's let that dry. And we're going to move on to this little tag that says time. Now, after we sent out the email about the needing the punch to make clock hands, this is it's really actually an old punch. It's a Rebecca Sauer punch from her Nostalgique collection that she used to have. And we've had several people call in or write in and say that they don't own this or they're not able to find it, and I didn't think about that. So we got trying to look for a solution, and lo and behold, in our timepiece collection, in our dimensional stickers, there are two tiny little black clock hands that will work perfect, even more perfect than my punch. So if you couldn't find the punch, either use something on your Cricut or your Silhouette or whatever you have that cuts out, or you can get this timepiece dimensional sticker and use these little black hands. So the tags that I like to use, they're just these marking tags, and they're from Walmart. They're like $1.88. They have them in 3 different sizes. There's a large size, this is the medium size, and then they have a tiny little jewelry tag size. I love adding these into my scrapbooking. So we're going to cut off the string, but hang on to that string because we're going to use it to make the little bow on one of the letters. So don't get rid of your string, but take a little ink and ink up your tag. And our friends at Colorbox gave us some brown ink. Ink that up. Then we're going to write in the center and all the way over to the right, we're going to write time. So I'm going to use, on this one, I am going to use these little hands because I'm kind of sad that I didn't think of it before, because I absolutely think that they are just too adorable for words. So I've used my timepiece stickers there and made my little tag. And then when we get done, we'll go back and we'll add all of our bling. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. So I'm still going to let that dry a little bit longer. So I'm going to go ahead and glue my brown snowflake onto my blue snowflake. And then on top of that, I'm going to glue my bracket. Oh, make sure that you, because I just about blew it, make sure that you put the 2 holes at the top. Otherwise, it'll say Snuggle Time on its side. Where you have the all this ribbon on it, it kind of concaves in the center. If you wanted to use foam squares to glue that center on, that would make it a little more even. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm just going to pop mine up a little bit so the center of that doesn't cave in right there. I'm just going to give it a little dimension. Oh yeah, that's better. Now my ribbon has room to fit in there. All right, so now let me hold that the right way for you. And I didn't put it in the right way. This is why I told you all to be careful.